Welcome back to Boring Tales. Tonight, we return to the slow, peaceful world of Thomas, the medieval baker. Let the rhythm of his day carry you gently into rest and into sleep. He wipes from left to right, slow, even, one long motion at a time. The flour lifts, gathers, moves with the cloth. Some falls to the floor, a faint puff in the air. But most clings to the fabric. He refolds the cloth, finds a clean edge, and wipes again. This time lower, along the lip of the table. Where dough had fallen. Where crusts had scattered. No scrubbing. No harshness. Just quiet pressure, repeating the same slow path over and over. When the table is clean, he steps back. Not far. Just enough to see. The surface is smooth again. Bare. Ready. Though it will not be used again until tomorrow, he leaves it prepared, as he always does. Next, he lifts the mixing bowl. It's heavy now, not from dough, but from stillness. He carries it to the basin. It does not need deep washing. Only rinsing. The bits of flour at the edges slide away under a slow pour of water. He runs his hand along the inside, the curved wood, soft from years of use. Then he turns it over, lets the water drain. The droplets fall slowly, one at a time, into the clay sink, onto the worn stone below. He sets the bowl upside down on the drying rack, leaves it there, untouched. He wipes the edge of the sink, wipes the rim of the bowl, folds the cloth again, places it flat on the hook. Then, he stands. Just stands. Looking around the room. The table. The basin. The shelf. All clear. All quiet. All still. And Thomas, he feels the same. Stillness in his bones. Softness in his breath. Weight in his arms, but no urgency. Only rest. Only quiet. Only the slow rhythm of a day nearly complete. The floor beneath Thomas is scattered with the remains of the morning. Not much. Just traces. Bits of crust. A smudge of flour. A soft ring of dust where the mixing bowl once sat. Nothing is out of place, but everything must be returned to stillness. This too is part of the work. This too is part of the bread. He turns slowly to the wall near the oven. There, leaning gently in its usual place, is the broom. Not a tall broom. Not coarse or bristled hard. But handmade, wooden handle, smoothed from years of touch. Bristles bound tightly with twine near the base. A little uneven now, but soft. Reliable. He lifts it with one hand, steady. Familiar. He places the other hand lower, near the middle of the handle. Then pauses. Just for a breath. He looks down. The stone floor is cool now. The heat from the morning fire has drifted upward, vanished. The shadows have grown longer, edges blurred. And so, he begins. One slow sweep. From the far corner, beneath the shelf. He draws the broom gently toward himself, short strokes, not hurried. The bristles whisper. They do not scratch, do not drag. They brush along the stone, lifting flour, gathering crumbs, moving dust in delicate arcs. He shifts his stance, slides one foot softly aside, and sweeps again. Another corner. Another line. Each stroke overlaps the last, forming quiet rhythms, like breath, like water. Dust begins to gather near the center of the room. Not in a pile, not yet. Just a soft collection of bits and specks, shaped by time and touch. He moves along the edges. Under the table. Along the wall by the basin. In the faint dip near the oven's base, where flour always settles. He stoops slightly, guiding the broom into that hollow curve. And sweeps again. Slow. Steady. The room begins to feel lighter. Not in brightness, but in weight. As if each stroke lifts not just flour, but the day itself. He moves toward the door. That small patch of stone just inside the threshold, worn smooth from countless footsteps. He brushes it too. Twice. 3 times. until the last speck turns. Then he returns to the center. By now, the dust has gathered. A gentle, quiet hill of white and brown, bits of crust, a few small seeds, a curl of straw from the bread basket. He lowers the broom. Sweeps in a circle now, drawing everything closer. Smaller and smaller. Until it is one soft mound by the fire's edge. He does not scoop it yet. Not right away. He rests the broom against the wall again. Its job done. Its handle leaning gently back. Then he takes a cloth. Not for scrubbing. Just to press gently into the corners. To lift what remains. To remind the stone, you are clean now. You are quiet again. He folds the cloth. Tucks it back into the wash basin. Then kneels beside the pile. Brushes it slowly into a wooden scoop. No sound. Only motion. The scoop is small. Just enough. He empties it outside the door, onto the compost heap, where even scraps can find purpose. Back inside, he closes the door. It clicks softly. The bakehouse is clean now. No fire. No flour. No noise. Only stone. And wood. And the soft memory of bread. The broom has been returned. The dust is gone. The floor is swept. The table wiped. The oven cooled. There is only one thing left. The cloths. There are 5 today. 1 for the table. 1 for the basin. 1 for the counter. 1 for his hands. And 1, the softest one, for covering the cooling loaves. Each has its place. Each has done its work. Now they rest together in the wooden pail by the door. Folded loosely. Edges softened by flour and time. Thomas walks slowly toward them. No hurry. There is no rush in this task. Only rhythm. Only care. He lifts the pail with both hands. It is not heavy. But it is full. He carries it to the corner basin, the one outside, just beyond the side wall. Used only for this. The stone path beneath his feet is warm, but the air has cooled. The sun has passed its highest point. A soft breeze plays through the hedges. A sparrow sings, but distantly. He sets the pail beside the basin. Then, he fills the first bucket. The water comes from the rain barrel. Clear. Still slightly chilled. It flows gently from the spout, splashing into the bucket with a slow rhythm. He carries it back to the basin and pours it in. The stone darkens as the water settles. Then, he kneels. 1 cloth at a time. He begins with a tablecloth. It is thick. Streaked with flour. Edges curled slightly. He dips it slowly into the basin. Lets the water soak in. Watches the white streaks dissolve, soften, vanish. Then he lifts it. Lets the water run out. Not quickly, but in slow, clear streams. He wrings it once. Twice. Not tight. Just enough. Then dips again. Over and over. Each rinse more silent than the last. Each moment longer. Each movement smoother. He does not count the rinses. He knows by feel. When the cloth is clean, he folds it in half. Then again. Lays it on the stone ledge to dry in the evening breeze. Next, the basin cloth. Smaller. Thinner. But just as worn. It carries the faint scent of soap. The memory of water. He repeats the process. Dip. Soak. Lift. Wring. Slow circles in the basin. Clear water turning cloudy, then clean again. Another cloth laid gently to dry. Then the counter cloth. The one used to wipe the shelf and brush away crumbs. Its edges are dotted with seeds. Tiny ones. Poppy. Caraway. He picks them off slowly before soaking. Lets them float on the surface as the cloth sinks beneath. The same slow movements. Dip. Lift. Wring. Fold. Place. He pauses before the last 2. The hand cloth, coarse, creased, still damp with sweat. And the soft cloth, his favorite. He washes the hand cloth first. Not out of preference, but order. It takes longer. He works the water through its threads, loosening the stiffness, pressing the day out through each fold. When it is done, he lays it flat. The breeze catches one edge, but it stays. Then the soft cloth. He holds it a moment longer. Feels the weave between his fingers. Familiar. Comforting. It has covered hundreds of loaves. It carries the scent of bread in every thread. He lowers it into the basin with care, as if tucking it into a bed. The water ripples outward. He lets it rest, just beneath the surface. Still. Then lifts it again. It does not need scrubbing. Only soaking. Only the kindness of cool water and time. When it is done, he does not wring it. Only presses it gently between his palms. Then lays it across the railing, to dry slowly in the breeze. The basin is still now. The water has stilled. The cloths all rest nearby, soft folds catching light as it begins to fade. Thomas stands. Brushes water from his sleeves. Carries the empty pail back inside. Sets it down beside the door. Another task done. Another rhythm complete. The day has softened. The bakehouse is quiet. All that's left is to rest. The light has changed. It no longer streams. It settles. Soft and slanted. Long golden threads across the bakehouse floor. Thomas does not move quickly. He does not need to. The day is done. The work is done. There are no loaves to check. No dough to knead. No flour to sweep. Nothing to time. Nothing to weigh. Only the quiet. Only the stillness. Only the warmth that lingers along the base of the oven, faint, now, but steady. He walks to the wooden stool by the wall. It creaks gently as he lowers himself. Not from weakness. From age. The stool knows him. And he knows it. He rests both hands on his thighs. Palms down. Fingers spread. Then he breathes. Slow. Through the nose. Out through the mouth. There is no need to fill the silence. Silence is the point. He listens. Not for sound, but for absence. No crackling fire. No thud of dough. No creak of oven door. Only the softest sigh of wood cooling behind him. The oven, so loud in the morning, is quiet now. Only its stone shell remains warm. Not hot. Just enough. Thomas leans back slightly. Not to rest, but to feel. The warmth at his spine. The gentle press of air against his shoulders. He does not think about tomorrow. Tomorrow will come as it always does. He does not think about bread. The flour is put away. The loaves are eaten. The baskets are empty. He thinks of nothing. Only the feel of the stool beneath him, the floor under his feet, and the breath moving through his chest like tidewater. Soft. In. Out. In. Out. Outside, the birds have gone quiet. The light has faded from yellow to gray. The shadows stretch longer than the walls. Inside, the stillness deepens. Thomas does not close his eyes. Not yet. He watches the oven face, the old brick curved in gentle arch. It has cooled now. But it glows faintly still, the heat held deep inside, like memory. He watches that glow as if it were a fire. Not moving, but pulsing gently. It does not flicker. It does not change. Just glows. And that is enough. He does not speak. Not even to himself. He simply sits. Breath by breath. Minute by minute. Each one slower than the last. And with every quiet moment, something deeper within him settles too. Not sleep yet. But the edge of sleep. Where silence stretches long, and thought becomes drift, and time no longer holds. Only breath. Only warmth. Only the end of a simple day. Eventually, Thomas stands. Not quickly. Not with purpose. Just. Gently. His knees shift. His hands press lightly on the stool. He rises with a soft sigh, the kind that comes not from tiredness, but from knowing the day is truly done. He walks to the door, wooden latch warm beneath his hand. He lifts it quietly. opens the door just wide enough, and steps outside. The air meets him with a hush. Cooler now. No breeze. Just stillness. The sky overhead is no longer blue, but grey, tinged with faint lavender. No sun. Just the afterglow. A soft wash of pale light spread thin across the rooftops. He breathes it in. Deep. Slow. Then begins to walk. The path through the village is familiar. Unchanged. Just a dirt track, pressed smooth by feet and carts, edged by hedges and low stone walls. He walks slowly. There is no destination. No errand. No reason. Just motion. He walks for the sake of walking, to let the rhythm of his steps undo the rhythm of the day. Each house he passes is quiet. Windows faintly lit from within. Chimneys trailing thin lines of smoke into the evening air. He sees no one. But he knows they are there, mothers tucking children into bed, fathers leaning back in chairs, hands folded behind heads, dogs curled beneath tables, fires burning low. He walks on. Not to disturb, only to witness. To be part of the stillness around him. His boots make no sound on the path. Only a soft press. Heel, then toe. Step, then breath. One after another. A cat slips across the road ahead of him, grey, thin, tail low. It does not look at him. It does not need to. It knows he means no harm. It disappears into the hedge. Thomas watches the space it vanished into for a moment longer. Then keeps walking. He passes the chapel. Its stone worn smooth by weather and time. The small bell is silent now. It rang at sunset. It always does. The chapel doors are closed. But candlelight spills from the narrow window. A line of gold on the stone. He does not stop. Just watches the flicker as he walks past. The village well comes next. No one is there. The buckets hang quietly from their hooks. The rope wound neatly around the post. The stones cool to the touch. He pauses. Not to draw water. Only to look. The circle of the well is always comforting. A center. A middle point. Thomas places one hand on the edge. Rough stone. Cool. Dry. He stands there for a moment. Then continues. He walks past the carpenter's house. The thatcher's cottage. The place where the blacksmith lives. Each one still. Each one dark, except for the glow of the hearth inside. Each one holding sleep. At the edge of the village, he pauses again. This is the spot where the fields begin. Flat earth. Tall grasses. Soft wind brushing the top of wheat. The scent of barley drifts in the air. Sweet. Clean. Distant. Thomas stands for a while. He does not think of harvests. He does not think of bread. Only the way the sky meets the land here, wide, unbroken, softened by shadow. He watches. Then turns. And begins the walk back. Thomas returns the same way he came. Down the lane, past the well, past the chapel, past the dark windows of quiet cottages. The same steps, in reverse. But softer now. Slower. As if the path itself were helping him wind down. By the time he reaches the bakehouse, the sky is deep grey. The first faint stars begin to show. Barely visible. But enough. He unlatches the door without sound. Enters. Closes it behind him. The bakehouse is dark now, just the last glow of the oven and the cooler air gathering at his ankles. He lights one small lamp. Not for brightness. Just enough to see. The flame flickers. Stands steady. Casts long soft shadows across the wall. He doesn't need much light. Everything in this room is exactly where it always is. He moves to the back, where the small cot rests against the far wall. The same cot he has slept in for years. Its straw mattress compressed by use. Its wooden frame smooth from wear. Beside it, a folded blanket. A simple wool tunic, set aside. And a small ceramic cup with a bit of water left from earlier. He places the lamp on the stool nearby. Then sits on the edge of the cot. and breathes. He begins with the shoes, untying the laces, one, then the other, pulling each off slowly, deliberately, setting them side by side beneath the cot. He does this every night. They always rest in the same spot. Then the apron, unfastened at the back, draped over the small hook near the cot, its creases soft from the day's work. Then the shirt, pulled over the head without hurry, folded, placed on the stool. Each step slows the breath. Each motion undoes the day a little more. He reaches for the wool tunic, warmer, clean, softened by time. Slips it over his head. It drapes around him lightly. No belt. No buttons. Just warmth. He lifts the blanket. Checks the folds. Lays it over the cot. Then, carefully, he lowers himself. First onto one elbow. Then down. Onto his side. One hand beneath his cheek. The other resting near the edge. The same position, every night. It is familiar. Comforting. The room is quiet. Even quieter than before. Only the tick of the cooling oven stones. Only the soft breath from his own chest. He closes his eyes, but does not sleep yet. Instead, he listens. To the silence. To the darkness. To the quiet ache in his arms, the good kind. The kind that says, "You worked well today." He lets that feeling stretch. From shoulder to elbow to wrist. Down through the fingers. Back again. Everything, slowing. Settling. Sinking. He thinks of the cloths, clean and folded. The oven, cool and empty. The shelves, swept and bare. The loaves, long since sold. He thinks of nothing else. And then, he stops thinking altogether. The flame of the lamp burns low. And Thomas drifts. Into sleep. Into stillness. Into the quiet beneath the quiet. Where no bread rises. Where no fire burns. Where only dreams remain. There is no knock at the door. No whistle of wind under the sill. No sharp sound, no pressing light, no reason to rise. And so, Thomas does not. Not at first. He stays beneath the blanket, eyes still closed, breath quiet and steady. No need to check the fire. No need to measure flour. No customers waiting. No dough resting. Just silence. And the slow, peaceful weight of time that does not ask for anything. The morning air is cool, but not cold. Soft. Restful. Still. The sounds outside are distant, a rooster crowing from another yard, a pail being set down gently on stone, a few quiet footsteps in the lane. Nothing urgent. Nothing sharp. All the village moves slower today. Even the sun takes its time, casting its light in soft ribbons across the ceiling beams and down the stone walls. Eventually, Thomas opens his eyes. Not because he must, but because the body stirs after enough sleep. His hand moves slowly, traces the edge of the blanket, then rests on his chest. He lies still for a long while, eyes open, unmoving. There's nothing waiting, nothing calling him forward. And that, in its own way, is a kind of joy. After many quiet minutes, he lifts the blanket, swings his legs over the side of the cot, rubs his palms together without any hurry. He doesn't dress right away. Instead, he sits, both feet flat on the floor, back straight, but not rigid. Just breathing. Just sitting. Listening to nothing in particular. The silence in the bakehouse is different today. More generous. More open. As if the room itself is sleeping in. He reaches for the pitcher of water beside the stool. Lifts it. Pours a little into the cup. Drinks. The water is room temperature. Still. Tastes faintly of clay. He drinks slowly. Then sets the cup down. Back in its place. Everything is done without thought. Without effort. Like second nature. Eventually, he pulls on the soft wool tunic. The same one from the night before. It holds the shape of him, in a way. Stretched slightly at the elbows. thinned at the collar. It is not for working. It is for resting. And that's what today is. He stands, stretches, then begins his quiet Sunday. Without plan, without purpose, just movement, just being. Outside, the village is not quite awake, but not asleep either. It is somewhere in between, like a long breath held in the chest, soft and unhurried. Thomas steps out, one hand resting gently on the doorframe as he glances upward. The sky is pale. Not blue, not grey. Just morning. No sharp sun. Only the soft light that comes after dawn, before the heat, when the world is still stretching its limbs. He walks slowly, as always. Boots brushing along the path, kicking up fine dust that hangs briefly in the air before falling again. There are no wagons on the road. No merchants shouting. No sound of hammers or blades. Only the soft bleating of sheep in the distance. And a dove somewhere, cooing gently in a high window frame. The chapel is not far, a few turns past the well, beyond the carpenter's lane. Thomas knows the path well. He has walked it many Sundays before. Each step feels like one he has taken in a dream, over and over again, always the same, always quiet. As he nears the stone archway, he sees the same things he always sees. A wooden bench, long and narrow, worn smooth by sitting. A patch of grass just beyond the wall where wildflowers have crept in, despite no one planting them. And the door. Heavy oak. Iron hinged. Always slightly open on Sundays. He does not rush inside. Instead, he pauses. Stands for a moment in the stillness beneath the chapel eaves. Listens. There are no bells this morning. They have already rung. The sound has faded into air, but the memory of it lingers in the bones of the building. He breathes in. The faint scent of beeswax, dry stone, and something older, the hush that only lives inside places like this. When he enters, it is with quiet steps. The stone floor is cool beneath his soles. His fingers brush the end of each pew as he passes, like someone counting moments instead of minutes. He does not sit near the front, nor the back. He chooses the same place he always chooses, third pew from the door, left side. From here, he can see the simple altar. The tall iron candle stands. The stained glass window that casts a soft band of color across the wall. Thomas does not pray with words. He never has. He simply sits. Hands resting in his lap. Back straight, but not stiff. He listens to the echo of silence. To his own breath rising and falling like waves on a very still shore. There are a few others here. An older woman with a cane. 2 children, whispering quietly. A farmer with his cap in hand. No one speaks. They don't need to. The chapel does the speaking for them, through wood and stone, wax and air, shadow and sun. Thomas closes his eyes for a while. And just rests. Not sleeping. Not waking. Just resting. And when the hour feels full, when time has curved softly in on itself, he stands again. Without fanfare. Without farewell. And walks slowly back down the aisle, his boots making the faintest sound against the stone. Back through the chapel door. Back to the light. Back to the soft path that leads nowhere in particular. Back home. Back at the bakehouse, Thomas enters as he left it, slowly. Quietly. Letting the stillness follow him in like a shadow. The air inside has warmed slightly with the slow rise of the sun. But it is still gentle, still cool enough to feel like morning. He does not light a fire. He does not sweep. There is no flour to weigh. No yeast to stir. Instead, he walks toward the table where a simple wooden bowl rests. He had left it there yesterday, clean and dry. He picks it up. Sets it down again with care. Then, he moves to the small shelf that holds his food. There is not much, but enough. A small heel of bread from the day before. A strip of dried meat. A few salted beans soaked overnight in water. And a single apple, slightly soft, but sweet. He brings them to the table. No plate. Just the food and the bowl and his hands. He breaks the bread. Not with a knife, but gently, with his thumbs. One piece. Then another. He chews slowly. Each bite taking its time. He adds the beans to the bowl, pours a little water over them, and lets them sit. He does not hurry. They will soften enough, soon enough. He bites into the apple. Not fast. Not loud. Just the sound of teeth pressing through skin. Juice against the tongue. Sweetness. Mild and comforting. He chews. He swallows. He waits. He does not speak aloud. He does not hum. There is no need for sound when the day itself is already singing its quiet hymn. Thank you for resting with Boring Tales. If you're still awake, feel free to let the next episode play. Or drift gently into sleep. And if you're enjoying these quiet stories, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing the calm.